recording. Oh, and let me admit one more. Oh, here's another one. Okay. I think we have 27 people that are currently online. Hello, Karen. So we're going to go ahead at 7 o'clock and we're going to go ahead and get started. And I'm going to try to kind of keep up with watching who else might want to join us as we go on. So did everybody get their canvases and all of their supplies? Maybe I should say, is there anyone that did not get their canvas and supplies? Yay! It looks like we're all stitching. Um,
Yay.
did anybody have any problems marking their canvas that we need to kind of review and talk about that at all? Yay! Got success on that too. Okay. So we're just going to jump in. I'm looking at the faces, and it looks like most of the people that are on here, I know have done some needlework before. But we're going to start. I know we have a few people that have never done canvas work before. And so we're going to kind of do a few basics before we get started. So one of the things, if you are a die-hard cross stitcher and have cross stitched and never done a lot of canvas work, the thing you need to keep telling yourself over and over again is count your threads, not your holes. Um, you count very differently canvas work than you do counting cross stitch. And then I wanted to talk a little bit about the way that I start my canvas. Now I'm going to try the SCR. Yay! Whoops! So somebody wants in. Um, graciously purchased a document camera, and so I picked it up last week, and I've been playing with it off and
Does
on.
it
And
need go?
I
No,
was
no, they're just too little for me. Oh.
I was
Mm.
playing with it today to make sure that I could get my document camera to work correctly. Joanne, do you have a question?
I was going to say, unless you're wanting to talk, it would help with bandwidth if everyone turns their camera off because all the people ex- makes a lot uses up a lot of bandwidth, and I was hearing you wobble in and out.
Oh, okay. Oh, I see lots of people turning their camera off.
And mute yourselves.
Yes, please mute yourselves. And it looks like my document camera just went offline. Hold on a minute. I'm going to see if I can get it. You know, wouldn't you know, it has worked. I have tested this. Can't tell you how many times today, and it worked just fine. And now all of a sudden, my document camera is not wanting to connect.
You just might want to unplug it, Rhonda, and then try to plug it back in again.
Oh, that sounds like a great idea. Let's try that. And there we have a document camera. Okay, so you should be seeing my
You
piece.
may want to share your screen or
Okay.
share the document camera.
Oh, okay. I thought it would automatically share to you, but let me see here. Meeting.
Rhonda, you're fine.
Do you see?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Okay. Oh gosh. This is hard admitting people and trying to do this. I'm just saying. Okay. You cannot minimize when you are recording. Okay. Okay. Let me see if I can do spotlight again.
Sorry.
Thank you guys for being so patient with somebody that's
Right.
trying to get a little more techie. Okay. Okay, Joanna, where was the spotlight again? I am not seeing it up here.
It's the three little buttons, if you can hear me, at the top.
Okay.
You see a little blue, on mine, it's a little blue box with 3 dots in it.
Okay, hold on. I got 2 more people to. Oh, I'm so sorry.
Or else have everyone pin your picture.
Hold on, I'm admitting more people. Oh, gosh. I promise I practiced this.
You're fine, Rhonda.
Whoever said that, thank you. Oh,
No stress. It's only stitchery.
yeah, I'm amongst friends, right?
Yeah.
We're not judging you.
Okay, I still cannot see where I can do that.
Have everyone pin your picture instead. And that's on the same 3 dots. If everyone does that, your picture will be large in the middle of their screen.
Okay.
I can't find that. I did the 3 dots.
I just set mine to speaker view.
Yeah.
And that shows mostly you.
Okay. I will work on this again before next meeting. Okay, I'm going to continue on. Okay. And I've got another person in the waiting room. Okay. Okay. So, if you are not familiar with how to get started, the reason, oh, here we go. I think I maybe just spotlighted myself. We'll see. Okay, so the way that I start it is when I have my needle and my thread, I kind of, if I'm working in this long log, I go down in that log and I have my thread on the top. And then I just go and I start stitching at the very top of it. And when I start stitching up there, the more I stitch on it, it'll cover up that thread on the back side. And I'll secure my thread by just stitching over the
Alrighty,
top of
bye.
it. And then when I get down to where my knot is, then I'll just snip my knot off the top of it. I just got a message that my network was unstable. Is everybody still able to hear and see me?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, perfect. Okay. So I wanted you to kind of talk about how to start your thread a little bit. And then on this piece, you're always going to want to bring your needle up. Hold on, that little dachshund. Okay. You're going to want to go up in an empty hole and go down in a full hole. And that way, when you're going up, if there's any extra fibers, you're not pulling fibers from the back side to the front side. So I'm going to try to get down here a little bit further so you can see. And so like on this piece, I would, if I was going up, I would go up. There's an empty hole here. but I wouldn't want to go up over here. Let me see if, because that's a full hole. It already has. So whenever possible, you're going to want to go up in an empty hole and down in a hole that you've already stitched in.
Rhonda, excuse me. You may want to zoom out a little bit more because you were off camera when you were showing what you were talking about. So
Okay.
make sure that everyone can see what you're talking about when you show
Okay.
us.
Because on my view, I was seeing it all. Okay, good to know. Okay, so if I took my needle and I went down in any of these holes here, I might pull fibers from this log up onto the front side. And so anytime I'm going into one of these stitches that I share here, I'm going to want to be taking my needle down into that hole. The other thing that I wanted to make sure you knew is on this piece, we're always going to start at the top and work your way down. Always start at the top and work your way down on each one of the logs. Okay, let's jump in and let's talk about log 1. Let me see if I can put the pattern here for you to see. I'm going to take it out of my sleeve. I did not have reflection today when I had nice sunshine. Okay, so you always know what color you're working with because down here at the bottom it says watercolor 158. So that tells me what color I'm going to work with. So on log 1, I started right here and I went up here and down here. It made that first over one thread right here. And then I skipped down and I went up here. That would be my 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And so I completed this whole little square block. So now I would jump over to the next block and I would do the same thing. So what I did, so I was going up at an empty, I did this in reverse. So I went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now, even though the pattern shows that the next row is kind of a white, Kathy only did that so it's easier for us to tell, kind of see what the pattern is of that block. And so since I ended up over here, I just went right down to that white block and I wouldn't want to go up here because it's going to share a hole with that black one. So I would go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then with this one, I have no choice. I'm going to have to go up in a dirty or a filled hole. So I do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and keep going until I have that full row done. And then I skip down to the next one and I did just a simple tent stitch across. And then just repeat the pattern back and forth all the way until you get to the bottom of it. You can't see mine real well because it's so dark. Let's see if it'll let me zoom in on it a little bit. And it's just not, that stitch is not real clear. Let's see. Does anybody have, did anybody else do log one differently or have any other thoughts about log one that they could share with people that have not done log one yet?
After the first row, I started at the bottom of every stitch and stitched up. And that way you're never going into it, you're never starting in a dirty hole.
Okay. I'm trying to get this to focus a little bit here for us. Okay, so
Takes a minute, Rhonda, but if you slowly do it, it'll start to sharpen.
okay. Okay, I think that's a little better. Okay.
Hi, Rhonda. Hi, Rhonda. This is Carolina. I have a question about log one waist knot. Can you show me where you place the first waist knot on log one? I haven't started log one, so I want to have some guidance on where to put in that first waist knot to go behind and then up.
Okay. So I'm gonna move my paper here. Let me see if I can grab my little needle here and my little thread. I would put my waist knot right here in, whoops, gosh, that's horrible. Hold on a minute. Let's see if this is any better. I would put mine in the middle of log one, like let's see, I'd go like 3 stitches in, and I would go 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I would go about 8 threads down.
Okay, I'll do that. Thanks.
And your knot's going to be on the front side, and then you're just going to kind of go up the back of your canvas to that very top of log one, and you're going to put that first stitch in at the top of log one, and then just work your way down. Does anybody have any other questions about log one?
Rhonda, it's Olivia. I can
Olivia.
show you. Hey, I can show you log one pretty close. Does that help anybody?
Okay, let's see if I can escape out of this.
Go to the same place you got in it and click remove spotlight.
Okay. Let's see, where did I do that at? Okay, I've removed the spotlight.
Okay. So if I talk, do mine show up now? Okay.
Yes, it does.
Okay.
It's for those who are looking, her name is Mom's iPhone. That's who's speaking right now.
Yeah. Sorry. Okay. That's just as
Can we
close as
make
I
her bigger?
make it bigger.
No,
It's
you need
just a little icon on here.
No, you would need to make it bigger on your own.
You need to pin it.
There, is it bigger on Olivia's? Can everyone see Olivia's now?
Yes.
Yep. Can see it now.
Okay. I'm
Okay.
going off then.
Okay.
Nice.
So you can see how she has the stitches, and then she just keeps working her way down.
Did you change your colors, Olivia?
No, that's one watercolor right there.
Did you change yours, Rhonda?
I did not.
But now I'm not going by the design by Kathy's notes. I'm using whatever watercolors I have.
Okay, okay, that's
So
so
my,
it's a different color.
it is a different color, but it's one watercolor skein.
Right.
Okay.
Okay. It's
Oh,
easier to see because it's lighter, I think.
It's a bit lighter, yes.
Thank you.
Going off now.
okay. Okay. Any other questions about log 1? If not, we're going to head on to log 2. Okay, let me see. Okay, so on log 2, I did these 3 black ones first. And actually, I started on the right-hand side and I did these 3 black ones, and then I did this white one. And then I did, let me look what I did here. Look at my notes here. 3 black, 1 white. Okay. And then I did the rest of this white. And then I started this pattern here until I got to the bottom. And once I got all that black in, then I went back up here and I finished the white because I'm still starting at the top and working my way down. Okay. So after I got the white in, I skipped over here and I did this white. I went back up and I did the black. I went over and I did the white again and I did the black. And so I'm still working my way down only with one color, watercolor 037.
How many times do you do the pattern? So there's 1, 2,
I was
3.
like, I did my pattern until I got to the bottom of where I had marked it.
And that would be
54 threads.
Lord. That's not what I'm asking.
Yeah, I can't tell you exactly how many times. Let's see. Let me see if I can count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Looks like I did 9 of the black lines.
That's what I needed.
Okay.
It is not, it is 9, but it's not exact.
That's fine. That's close enough for horseshoes.
Yeah, you're going to have to compensate at the very bottom of that.
At the bottom, you should have 12 empty threads below row 1 or column 1.
Yes, you should. Yes, you should have. Right, John. Yeah, you should have. Right here, there's 12 threads. Oops, you can't see it because my paper's on top of it. Should have 12 threads right here. Hold on, I'm going to try something. Oh, look at that. I had a flashlight sitting here on my table. That kind of helps. Okay, so kind of see how it is at the bottom of that.
Okay, leave your spotlight up there.
Okay.
There, you see better.
Okay. And I went left to right, right to left to right as I worked down that log. Okay, any more questions about log 2? Okay, log 3. If we look at the instructions, okay, all of it again is in watercolor 028, so we're only using one color. And you're going to kind of work this in blocks. So you're going to do all the black. And then I went up to the top and I did these thin lines up here. And then I did the white. Then I did my thin black lines again. I did this little bit of thin black. I worked this big black, and see how I'm just kind of working my way down this block. When I get down here, I'm going to jump back up here to the white and work my way down. Do the thin black and keep working my way down. So my pattern was kind of thick black lines, thin black lines, white, and then thin black lines again. And you're going to keep repeating that pattern over and over and over again. And then you've got, if you look at the pattern, you've got this weird little spot where you don't have any stitching. And that weird little spot that doesn't have any stitching means keep stitching until you get to the bottom of the block. And this is what the bottom of your block is going to look like. So that's your compensating stitches at the very end or very bottom to make that log come out correctly.
How do you know what goes next under what is printed at the top? I don't know that I know what to do.
All I'm doing is I'm just kind of looking at, I'm going to do all of this black.
Uh-huh.
And then I'm going to have this up here that doesn't have any stitching.
Uh-huh.
And so since I'm wanting to go from top to bottom, I'm going to do my thin black lines next.
Uh-huh.
And then I'm going to do my white lines because I'm still working my way down. And then
The white changes directions.
Yes, the white changes direction.
So when you get at the bottom of those two areas, then you're going to do the first one again?
Yep.
Well, when I get down to the bottom of this white, I'm going to have these two threads that aren't covered. And so I'm going to do this thin line again.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to start again. My thick black. When I get to the down here to this last little stitch, I've got all these threads that don't have any thread on them. And I'm working top to bottom, so I get these threads done. And then I do these threads. And then our pattern repeats. So this next section here will be back up at the top. So I'm doing this black section, my thin black line, my white, my thin black lines again. And then I'm kind of at this next block area again. And I just keep working my way down until I get to the very bottom of that block.
Rhonda?
Yes.
Couldn't you also do all of the dark black ones if you're new to needlepoint and don't know how, in order not to confuse yourself? Couldn't you do all the black ones and then go back up and do all of the white ones and then go back up and do all the thin black ones for those that have never?
You could do that if you wanted to, but if
Okay.
you'll notice on mine, I'm going to try to see if I can get my flashlight. You'll notice how my color, I started out with that kind of that green color.
Yeah.
And then it kind of goes down to the red.
Yeah.
And then down to the pink.
Okay. So you're trying to keep the colors consistent.
I'm trying to keep my colors bunched together.
Okay. Thank you.
And if you want a totally different look to it, you could jump all over, but then your block is going to look more patchy. It's not going to look like, you're not going to see the progression of color like you would
Okay.
if you continue to work down the block.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, Terry, you have your hand raised. Terry,
Yes.
yes.
Uh, the compensating lines at the bottom, is
Yes.
that it? It looks like exactly the same as the top.
It is exactly the top, except you're not going to put this part of it in there. It's only this top. So if your pattern continues, you're going to do all of this and all of that. And that's what you're going
Oh,
to
we're
repeat.
only doing the first part.
Right.
Okay.
You're only doing the top half of that block.
Okay.
So you're going left and then right and then left and then right, however many times, and you end up on the left.
You're going
Right, and
you're going to end up with the black on the left-hand side.
Top.
Yes, correct.
Okay. One more, well, actually two more stupid questions.
There is
I
no
am
stupid questions. We're all learning together.
I am a avid cross stitcher.
Yes.
And I was always taught my backs had to look immaculate.
No.
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 I don't, from the way you're talking about how to do this, I don't know how I would do that on
Okay,
this.
hold on a minute. I'm going to flip it over and you can see my back. There's my back.
Well, see, that looks pretty good.
And part of the reason why it looks pretty good is because as you're stitching, you stitch on top of that thread that you jumped over 6 stitches and up. And so it's hidden underneath the stitches you've already stitched.
Okay.
Don't sweat the back.
Don't sweat the back. Carry on.
Back doesn't matter. Just make sure there's no
No.
knots on your back.
That's right. Because they'll be bumpy on the front when you frame it.
Yep.
Okay, and in the beginning, you talked about counting threads versus squares.
Right.
Now, I may have counted squares. Is that going to really mess me up?
Yep.
As long as you have gone over, you need to make sure you have gone over 6 threads in each block.
Yes, I have done that.
Okay, as long as you've gone over 6 threads in each block, you're going to be okay.
So we won't have to worry about the borders and everything on the four borders that are on the outside of the heart if we screw up on our count.
If you screw up on your count, then if you've looked at the blue border that goes around the white part.
Yes, ma'am.
That is going to have to be divisible by 6, if I remember right, to make it, yeah. So yes, it's going to have to be right. Let's see. 1, 2, 3.
Wouldn't we have any extra threads outside of the border? So with the border, would it be smaller than the 13 by 13 square?
You have 1.5 inches around the border if you centered it in the middle of the piece.
Okay, so if we're off by 1, we can breathe.
Correct. You have 1.5 inches around.
Thank you.
Yeah, as long as you make sure it's divisible by 6. Because if you look at the border, all those little, I'm going to call them cubes around the border, that blue border, they're all 6 by 6. And so if you're one short, if you have a block that's only 5 threads wide, then you're not going to have enough room for a 6 by 6 block. If you have a log that's 7 threads wide,
No.
then you're going to have, when you start putting in that border, you're going to have one blank thread that doesn't have anything in it. So yeah, you need to make sure you're saying that everything
No,
is divisible by 6.
what I was talking about was if, just like her, I screwed up on my marking counts. If I screwed up, if I start the left and every log has 6, will I have a little wiggle room outside the blue if I screwed up because I'm off by 1 being in a perfect center? That's what I was trying to figure out. When
No,
she said you have an
no, it
You'll
does
have
not
plenty
have to
of
be,
room.
it does
That's
not
what I
have to be
needed.
absolutely centered.
That's what I was panicking about.
Yeah, nope. You're going to be
Thank
fine. Okay. Any other questions?
Panics.
Could I comment that
Absolutely, John.
again, this one drops 12 threads below the previous column.
Right. Let me see if I have that little, I don't have that.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, and 4 drop 12, and then 5 only drops 6. If I'm looking correctly.
Yep. Let me pull
Yeah.
out that master chart a minute.
4 is the last one to drop 12.
Okay. So you're going to have
Okay.
12 down, 12 down, 12 down, and then you're going to go 6 all the way. So you have 3 of them that drop by 12. This one drops by 12, this one drops by 12, and this one drops by 12. And you can almost see it in this master chart that these drop downs are bigger than these.
Yeah.
My other comment is, remember, if you want the colors to move along and not be the same repeats, you pull one strand out of the 3, put the other 2 aside, and then pull another 3 out of your bunch and pull one strand out to start your second thread.
Absolutely. And that's what I've been doing. I'm glad you mentioned that, John. I don't think I had written that down on my notes, but yes, that's exactly what I did because I wanted a lot of color change. And so once the logs started getting longer and I had to use more than one, I'm trying to use the right word here. One ply, no,
Strand.
one strand, one strand of thread, and I had to put a second strand in my needle. I went ahead and looked at all my different colors and I tried to choose something that was very different from the first strand that I had pulled. So I would have lots of color change down that log.
You can
Right.
use the single ones later if as needed, because you won't use any of those 2 you've moved away until they're called for in another piece, another
Right.
column. That does come up.
And gosh, you're going to see my mess here. Okay, so just drop something here. So you can see like when I was using 237, I used one strand out of one strand out of this one. And then I used one strand out of this one. And I used 2 strands out of this. Whoop, it looks like that's a partial one. So that's probably part of one of these. So yeah. So I pulled 2 different plot threads. Thank you. And then pulled 1 strand out of each one of these so I would have the color difference as I went down the log. Does that make sense to everybody?
I punched a third. Well, actually, I punched 2 additional holes, one at the opposite end for the of the threads of the to put on the ring, and then I punched one on the side that is where I put my leftover 2 strands. So I get them out of the way and don't make it complicated.
Yeah. And you can do it, whatever. I have all of mine on a big ring. And I've kind of done what John has done. I'm going to pull one of these off. And this is my manufacturer's hole. And then I put 3 holes together. And these are my strands that I've already used. And this is which actually I probably should have my big chunk in the 3 little holes that I punched, but I didn't think to do that when I started, so that's the way it is.
Did you say that was 237?
This one is 237. Yep.
Okay. When you do a panic on that, I just checked. It's used again in log 20, so don't do a panic attack.
Okay. Okay.
So, I mean, if you're pulling them out and somebody's like, oh my gosh, I'll never use them again, you're using them again in log 20. So don't panic. For those of us who are sort of newbies.
Yeah. And you're going to have all kinds of fun with watercolors. So I would just keep it all kind of together and throw it in my watercolor box. And next time I have a project that I'm going to use watercolor, I'm going to see what I have left and maybe I can use up what I have, or maybe I'll have fun and go buy more.
They're not cheap anymore.
No, they're not. Okay, Kathy, did you have your hand raised?
I did. I just wanted to say that going back to the comment about doing all the dark logs first, in her instructions, she says that unless otherwise noted, stitch them all in one pass. So that means she really wanted them all to be stitched together unless otherwise noted. And if you see on log 5, she says, work these in 2 columns, not in rows.
Right. Okay. But it's your piece and you can do whatever you want to do.
Sure.
If you want to do all the dark threads first and then come back and do the thin threads and the white threads, yours will look different than everybody else's, and that's fine too. Like I said, it's your piece. Have fun with it, whatever works for you. Okay, let's go on to log 4. Okay, and okay, so here's my log 4. I did not put the center in log 4 because I wanted you to be able to kind of see what I had done on that. And on log 4, you'll notice it's 2 different colors. It's watercolor 235 and watercolor 185. And she doesn't say which one to start with. And I'll tell you why I did mine the way I did it, and maybe somebody else has done theirs differently. But when I did this log, I just started with the little black ones and I went all the way around stitching, and then it changes direction here. And I just kind of worked all the way around. I'm going to call it a flower out of around that cube. And then I went down to the next one and I did the same thing. I just worked around it and I kept working all the way down. And then I'm going to go back in and put the center of the cube in. And the reason I left the center till the very end is because it's such a little section, such a little spot. I wanted it to sit kind of on the top of my other ones. And I was afraid if I did, hold on, I'm going to try to use my flashlight again here. I turned off my overhead light to see if that would help. I was afraid that if I did my centers first, it might get a little lost and get buried when I started putting all the other threads in.
Mm-hmm.
So I saved that till the very end. And after I finish this Zoom, then I will go back in and I will put all those centers in that whole row. Now,
Rhonda?
Yes.
Excuse me. I did mine a little differently. I did the flower top down. So I went left side, right side, left side, right side, left side, right side, all the way down the flower. And I liked how it made a nice even variegation on both sides of the flower on down.
Okay.
It makes it slightly thicker on the back because you're going over threads, but I liked how it looked.
Okay.
That
So
going left, right, left, right, left, right.
Okay. I hadn't thought to do that, but you sure could.
Yes, it looks really pretty.
Okay. Did anybody put their center in first?
No.
Don't do it.
Okay. I didn't
I
either.
did.
You
Now, when
did?
you
This
do,
is Jan. Yeah, I put my center in first because I was afraid I wouldn't be able to find the holes when I was spinning around it. And it did just fine. Now I'm thinking about going in and putting a little bead in each one.
yeah, that sounds pretty.
Ooh, that'd be fun.
Oh, yeah.
Now, when you're going and doing your center, you want to go from the outside to the middle, right? Not from middle out. Or are you going middle out? Because you want to pull the center out, like to make almost like a hole in it.
Remember, you're going up in an empty hole,
There is
down
Oh,
in a
you're
fold.
right. You're right.
Up in an empty. Well, now you've got one little thread
Well,
there.
that
I would
Yeah,
go
you only had one.
right. I would go up in the center and down on the outside. Up in the center, down on the outside. Up in the center, down on the outside.
Yeah. I did mine the other way, but it still looks okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I did it the other way too, into the center.
Okay.
And I'm just on number 7, and I did the same thing. Um, it's got little dashes, and I left them all for the end. And that's what I'm sitting here doing, is putting in the little dashes in number 7.
Okay.
They're a very dark purple. They're like what we used in number 1, and
Okay.
the rest of it's sort of red and tan.
Oop.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on. I just unplugged my camera accidentally.
Okay. This is Olivia, and I did my centers first because I was using that color in another log, and it was in my needle.
Okay.
And then I did the what you're calling the flower around it, and I thought it worked just fine because I could come up in an empty hole and down in the middle if I did them first. So,
Okay.
and there you are.
The only reason I would do the dark ones first, I mean, not do the white ones first, is because you could catch that thread very easily with the dark thread.
Mm-hmm.
And doing the 4 in the middle, you only have 4 to work with to not split a thread. Because, anyway, suggestion.
Works.
Okay.
Rhonda,
Yes.
I don't think there's a cross in the middle. I think that's an empty space.
There is.
Yes, it is an empty. Yes.
So it's not a white, it's not. So where does she use the 185? Oh, I see. She just uses it for the four legs, but there's not a cross in the middle of that.
Right.
Right. Okay. Gotcha.
And all of
They
a
all,
sudden,
all four go in the same hole.
Right.
We can't see the picture anymore. Is it all dark blue for everyone else?
Yes, ma'am.
yes, somehow I have lost all of
Yes.
my
I would put your overhead light back on again, maybe.
Yeah, hold on.
Because maybe that's why we can't see it. Thank you for helping us figure it all out.
And my document camera has shut off. So let me unplug it and plug it back in again. Hold on.
Okay.
See if it'll start doing its thing again for me. It does not seem happy. Okay. Well, we're going to keep talking and I'm hoping my document camera will get happy. Oh, maybe it's happy again. Okay, it's happy again.
Now we can see better.
Okay.
Yay.
Okay, I see 3 people in the chat. Let's see what this says here. Okay, we just lost power. I'll be here until you. Okay, battery, power's back on. There's really not a cross in the center. We just talked about that. Okay, we're good. Okay, let's go on to log 5. And on log 5, this one, there was some corrections that I sent out on it. And so let's talk about the corrections that I sent out on this. There's 2 different colors of watercolor. And so the watercolor 84 is used for the thick black line and the thin black line. It is not used for this oval white. The watercolor 232 is that oval. So make sure that you make that correction in your notes. I think
I did it the way that it is. And it's fine.
Okay. Well, I think Kathy was at ANG and a couple people talked to her at ANG about log 5. And that's the way that she said that she had designed it. It was a mistake in the pattern. The other tricky thing about log 5 is that you're going to work this in 2 columns, not in rows. And so I have left mine so you can kind of see what I did here. And so I did this one and then down here and here and here. So I did all of mine on the right-hand side. And the reason I did it on the right-hand side is so you guys would be able to see that there's a gap here that I'll eventually go back up here and fill all that in. So I'm going to go all the way down the right-hand side, following the pattern. And then I'm going to do the left-hand side all the way down the pattern.
So you want that little horizontal line to be a different color.
Right. That
Like the
little
picture.
that little horizontal line. This right here, that line right there, that will be 232. And it says it right down here in your instructions.
Okay.
Rhonda, for the purposes of the other folks that are stitching this, I suggest that this be done on the left-hand side column first because you're going from a clean hole from the right to the left. And then you can stitch your right-hand column again from a clean hole. So start with your left column.
So do
if
it the
you're stitching
opposite.
it.
Do it the opposite way that I've done it. Because like I said, I only did it this way so there would be a break in the 2 columns so you could see what I was talking about. Because I really wanted to point out log 5 for you. Does anybody have
Thank you for the help, Rhonda.
Any more comments or questions about log 5? Okay, if we don't have any more questions about log 5, we're going to move on to log 6. I can make my fingers work here and get my papers straightened out.
My only comment on this one is that the black and the small lines,
yes,
that's not the ones that she put together previously. So just watch out. I started and did black, and then I did white, and then I did little black, which is not what she intended.
No. No. So you'll notice that 248 is the thick black line and the thin black line. And then the white is 236. And I will tell you
269.
Yes, 269, sorry. And I will tell you log 6 was the most challenging log that I have done in this so far. I could not get a rhythm established and remember I just really had to focus on log 6. And so I just I worked it I wanted kind of diagonal stripes. And so I did this black, and then I did this black, and then I did this black. And when I got to the bottom here, I would jump up here to this row, and I would go down this way. And when you get to this one, you're the same as you were up here. And so you're just going to keep repeating that pattern over and over again. Joanna, what do you have?
When I did that bar, I did the little white dots first. I know that may not be the way you should, but that was easier for me to know where to put them. And then I did the diagonal rows like you did. But that made it easier to get all the white dots in.
I think that's a good suggestion.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea because, like I said, this block was the most challenging block that I've done. And I really had to have the house somewhat quiet and had to be focusing on what I was doing as I was going down block 6.
Another simple suggestion is do all of the dark block ones all the way down. And then start over. Don't run your thread back up. And then do all the small black lines all the way down. And then fill in the little 2 dots.
And you can do that, but if you do, again, you're not going to have the consistent color change. But that's totally up to you. I mean, if
Rhonda, I did something else. I left the white out until the end, like we were talking about for the others.
Like you did.
But I did the black going upper left to bottom. No, excuse me, upper right to bottom left, and then I made a U-turn and filled in the other side. And you just have to drop down three threads to start again.
Okay, so you went down this way and then kind of made a U-turn and went back up this way.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this
so you zigzagged back and forth.
Right.
Okay.
And I didn't have much luck with getting a rhythm to it either. I think I pulled out more threads than I've done it on anything in a long time.
Yeah, that was my experience with this block 6 is yeah, it was like I said, it was a challenging block for me. And
I
like I
agree
said,
completely.
But it's done. So, and after that, log 7 was a piece of cake.
Yes.
So, anyway, so anybody else have any questions? Joanne, you have your hand raised?
I forgot to lower.
Oh, okay. Okay. Okay, so like I said, I would, if you're getting ready to start log 6, I would make sure it's not a TV show that you really, really like that you're trying to watch when you're doing that. Okay, on to log 7. I thought log 7 was easy. And it just, if you kind of, she even has little lines kind of drawn in there, and she's broken it up into these little cubes.
Sort of.
And yeah, and so I just, finished one little block, and then I went over and I finished the next little block, and then I went down and kind of went back and forth, just finishing the thick black line, and I have not gone in and put the little white in there yet. But like I said, I thought that's kind of my tan color row right there. I thought that one was a piece of cake.
I did the little dots on that one first, and I did it in diagonal rows.
Oh, okay. Well, like I said, there's lots of different ways to do all of these logs. I'm not sure there is a technically right answer or right way to do them. Okay.
Don't get too worried about it, because if you do it differently, just be consistent with the differently.
Right.
There you
Yep. And
Just
I
repeat
thought,
your mistake.
Go ahead, John.
Repeat your mistake over and over again. And then it's consistent.
And it's a new pattern. Life goes on.
Yep.
That's it. And as busy as this pattern is, who's going to know?
Only another person who did the pattern.
Well, and even then, they might be hard pressed to spot it, the mistake.
They would
Okay.
admit it anyway.
Log 8. I thought this one was a ton of fun. So I did the black first, and I just zigzagged down that block all the way. And
Did
I
you
just
see the little narrow line that goes all the way across?
Yeah, right
little
here.
bitty. That's one repeat.
Yep.
That's how, and then it starts over.
Yep. So this up here is the same as this one. It's the same as this one.
Yep.
And like I said, I started with these triangles, and I did over one thread, over two threads, over three threads, over four threads, however many threads I'm going, one, two, yep, over four threads. And then I think I skipped over here, and I went over four threads, over three threads, two threads, one thread. And then I skipped over here and did this one, and skipped over here and did this one, and I just worked my way down. And like I said, I thought log 8 was a ton of fun to do.
So folks that are new to this, be sure that when you do that as you're stitching log 8, that one thread and then that next one thread, that you've got enough tension on your stitch so that it doesn't go down and then over, and it kind of loosens the first little one thread, if that makes sense. So you want to give some tension on the stitch between that little one thread and the next little one thread. So maybe go from the bottom up and then bring it over and bring it from the bottom up to the next little one thread. And that'll give enough tension for the thread. If you went top down and went over and bottom up, it would look loosey-goosey.
Yeah. Note they're two different colors.
Yes.
No.
I was just going to ask.
No, I'm talking about the dark black. I'm talking about the dark black, Joanne. The dark black 237, the way she was talking about zigzagging. If you're going to that second triangle and you're doing that little onesie, and then you go to the one on the left, the third triangle, and you do that first onesie, you got to give yourself some tension there. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's talking if you do this little one here, and then you skip over and you do
Yep.
this one, you'll need to make sure that you give it a little tug. And so, anyway,
Right. Oh,
and I like the color change of that too. That I started out with pink, and then there was some lavender, and then I made sure that I added some yellow. Made sure that the next um, um, ply that I had some yellow in it, and then I went back to the pink again.
And quilting is called fussy cutting.
Exactly. Okay, Terry, you had a question?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So, as a total newbie, what is the difference between the very thin black lines and the thick ones? I mean, what does that indicate?
Repeat.
Oh,
That's a
just
repeat.
okay.
Can you see that?
You mean like the thin black lines here and the thick black
Yeah.
lines here?
Yes.
The only difference, the only reason she did that
Yeah.
is so it kind of establishes a pattern, and you could
Okay.
see this is what the pattern kind of looks like.
Okay. So it doesn't mean
No.
anything else.
Case,
Okay. You don't have to change your strand or anything like that. Okay. Okay.
No.
In this case, no. She's just she's trying to point out like it's over 2, over 1, over 3,
Okay.
and establish a kind of a pattern like they've been talking about. So you have the black pattern to go down, and then
Mm-hmm.
you have the thin line pattern to go down. And so all she is doing is showing a contrast for those of us who are newbies, so you can see it.
Okay. Thank you.
And
Thank you.
those who are ancient in the art,
oh, boy.
problem. Not a problem. We all need to learn and be reminded.
Thank you.
No problem.
And imagine what this pattern would look like if there wasn't that difference in black lines. You'd kind of be going, where do I go now? What do I, where in the world would I go?
Think of counted cross stitch, black and white, symbols only. And then look at this, and it's so much easier.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Oh, you're very
Rhonda,
welcome. Yes.
do you have any of the other color in log 8? Is it just the one color you've done so far?
I've just done the one color in log 8 so far.
I'm interested to know. That's what I'm up to, and I'm interested to know what it's gonna look like with the 2 very different colors in it.
Yeah. Has anybody finished log 8 in the called for colors that they could show her? Oh, Joyce. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, let me see if Joyce, I can get you and spotlight you. Add
The
a
other thing
spotlight.
is
Okay.
lie your colors next to what you have done and see if you like it.
Up.
Hang on a second. I know where to find her a bit.
Have to unblur my background.
It's your moment to shine. Okay.
Keep going to the right. Other
Nope,
right.
other way. Other
Yeah,
way.
to your left.
Go, keep going. Other right.
Keep going. And now go up.
Yeah, there we go. There we go. Keep going.
Keep going up. Higher, higher.
Higher left. Well, our left. Stage left.
You need to go farther to where your magnet is. You need to move it that direction more.
There
and
we
more.
go. That's a girl.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I couldn't
Here we
see
go.
it. There you go.
Oh, wow.
Oh my. Oh, that's neat.
Joyce,
Looks good.
go
It looks very
back
good.
the other direction from your magnet, just a little bit.
Oh,
Oh, lovely. I
that
love
looks
it.
wonderful. Thank you.
And that almost looks like a braid.
Yes.
Yeah.
And if when you're stitching it, if you go from bottom to top with every single stitch, you won't have a tension issue.
Oh,
Ah,
Does that make sense?
yes.
mm-hmm.
Yes, because you're going top down, so you want to put your tension, you go in the opposite direction.
Right. So if you
Yes.
go from the bottom of the stitch to the top of the stitch every single time, you will never have a problem with your tension.
Hot darn.
On all of them, or you just mean on this one?
Well, on this particular one, but on others too, but you won't necessarily always be able to do that.
I get you.
Like in number 5, I just finished doing the little tent stitch with the purple.
Mm-hmm.
And when I went across one line, and then when I go to the next one, I reversed it and went back this way so that I was always doing it as a tent stitch, not as a half cross.
Mm.
But then I was going the second time when I was going from left to right, I was going top down. So it just depends on where you're at and where you're going.
I get
But
you.
definitely on log 8, always go from bottom to top.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
And the more you do this, the more little tricks like that you're going to learn. And like I said, I can't stress enough, go to your guild because your guild is full of people. The guild meetings are full of people that are experienced stitchers that can help you out. Okay. So am I spotlighted again?
Semi.
Let's see here. Let me see.
Remove Joyce's spotlight.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. Remove spot. Goodbye, Joyce. Okay. So we are over to log 9. Log 9 is this long pink. And I did all the black in that. I have not put the other stitches in, so you can see my white canvas kind of coming through there. And it is just you do these 3 little ones, and then I did over 1, over 2, over 3, over
2,
2, over 3, over 2, and just back and forth. And so all of these are going to line up, and all of these are going to line up. And when I got over here, I jumped down. I think it was 6 threads, if I remember right. And I started up this block. And I just worked back and forth. And that's in 2 colors also. You can kind of see it at the bottom. It shows 2 different colors. Any questions on log 9? Okay, we'll move on to log 10. Log 10 also has an error in the instructions. So in log 10, watercolor 185 is both the thick black line and the thin black line. The white is watercolor 269. And when I worked that one, I just worked the thick black line, this little tiny There's just 3 little stitches there in the thin. And then I work the thick black line again, the 3 little stitches here in the middle,
Did I call you back?
thick black line.
I'm sorry. I'm in the middle of a thing on the computer, a class. All right, bye.
Okay.
The young lady that was having the problems with the thick and thin,
yes.
log 10 gives you a perfect example of why she did them different. Because the stitch angle changes.
Right, because you've got this dot, these are all going this angle, and then you've got these little ones that are going the other way.
Yep.
So it changes direction there. And it's going to look like this lavender line going down. And again, I didn't put in the white lines in that because I wanted you to be able to see the thick and the thin black lines working down my piece.
That works.
Any questions on log 10? Okay, on log 11, when I started working this, I just about missed this. Hold on a minute. Got somebody coming in. If you look at log 11, you have over 1, over 2, over 2, over 2, and then you have 2. Actually, it's over 1, over 2, over 2, over 2, over 1. And then you have another little cube thing, motif here, over 1, over 2, over 1.
Yeah, that's.
So there's 3 that are over 2, and then you have the over 1. Then on the next row, the black, it's exactly the same thing, only it's going the other direction. So you've got over 1, over 2, over 2, over 2, over 1, then skip up, over 1, over 2, over 1. And then just back and forth. But make sure that you don't have this stitch that over those 2 over 1s as an over 2. And I'll see if you can kind of see. And you can see. Let's see here.
Try your yeah, there we go. Well, you can see the independent stitches with it.
Right. Next time I'm going to bring my stitching light in here. I should have done that.
Live and learn.
Yep. I had not tested this at nighttime, and I should have. Especially you can see it like right up in here. You can see maybe it's the next row down.
There we go. Yeah.
There you go.
Are the ones right below the yellow are good.
Whoop. I don't know, ladies and gentlemen.
It works. It works. We're all learning.
So anyway, so that was the only tricky thing that I found in log 11. Other than that, it's just working your way down. And that puts us log 1 through log 11. And that's what we had kind of planned on covering. Does anybody have any questions?
I have a general question.
Yeah.
And I'm going to use log 9 as just an example to make it clear what I'm asking.
Okay.
So log 9 has two different colors.
Correct.
And we're trying to come up in a clean hole and down in a dirty hole.
Correct.
So are you doing like a row of the black, a section of the black, and then parking the needle and then doing a section of the white? Or are you doing all the black and then coming through and doing all the white? Because then all the holes are dirty at that point.
I did all of my black first, and then I did my white.
Yep. That's a good way.
I would
Just
use
be
two
careful, don't
needles.
split the other threads.
I would use
Your
two
needle.
needles.
Okay.
Okay. Did you also hear that you can have two needles going?
That's was my question. Two needles and parking one.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Whichever way makes you most comfortable.
It may get kinky on the back, but don't worry about the
Who
back.
cares? I'm not showing the back, I'm showing the front.
Yeah.
I usually park in the front, so yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
If you're comfortable using two needles and parking one, by all means. Any other general questions or specific questions or?
If you can find, there's a needle, and I don't remember who it's by, but it has a ball point. And
Yes.
if you have problems splitting them, this needle is OMG awesome. And it's not a tapestry per se, it actually has a ball on the point.
Yeah, Leanna, are those made by Tulip? Because I use those a lot for cross stitch, but I've never used them on needlepoint.
Don't know. I think you would probably have trouble threading it. Is it? I think they're only in 26 and 28. I don't remember seeing
there is
24s.
There is a 24 because I've got the 20.
Is there?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I don't remember seeing the 24.
I got mine at the Stitching Bee when Debbie has the Stitching Bee, and that's where I got them, and they had the 3 different sizes. And to me, they are a godsend because I split needle, thread, that.
You don't want to get too small a needle though.
No.
Because
Correct.
This thread will be a lot of problem.
Yeah, I'm using a size 22 needle, and what's nice about that is with canvas you can really shred your thread if you don't have a little bit of a hole that you're making in it with a bigger needle, and it'll close up on it. It's a 22 is working really well for me on this one.
Rhonda, they're by Sullivan's, and they're called Easy Guide Ball Tip Needles.
And I think I got mine on Amazon. You know, good old Amazon. They have everything. You know, if you don't live by a wonderful shop, in College Station, we do not have a wonderful shop here. So, yeah. So if I'm desperate for something, sometimes Amazon's my friend. Okay, any other thoughts or questions? Okay, next month in October, we will be doing we'll talk about log 12 through 23. So if you're going to try to stitch along with us, if you could get through log 11, and then we'll kind of finish up our heart and then start working on the background and border and all of those good things.
Rhonda, have you found any more errors in the pattern other than those 2 major ones?
Those are the only 2 that I've found so far.
Thank you.
But that's not saying there's not additional errors that I haven't spotted yet. But I know that there's a few people that are further along. Does everybody want to turn on their camera and hold up their piece so everyone can see how far they are on their piece? I would love to see how far people are on their piece.
Does it, or if someone has different colors, that's what
Oh yeah.
that'd be fun to see too. If someone oh, now we need to unspot you.
Oh, sorry. Hold on a minute. Let's see. I'm seeing everybody.
I did different colors.
Okay.
You're still on spotlight.
Like those, Lisa?
Oh, yeah.
There we go.
Okay, is everybody seeing everybody?
Nope.
No. Are you only seeing me?
Yes.
We're only seeing you again.
Spotlight
Or
for
have you got her on speaker?
You may have it on speaker view or you pinned her.
And
'Cause
everybody,
now we
if
And also
everybody clicks to
gallery.
view and does gallery, you'll have a better chance.
Yeah.
If everybody clicks where it says view up at the top with the little dots, and then click on gallery.
Mine has different colors. I'm using mostly the same colors, but I put some velvet, that tiny velvet, and I also use some metallics in mine so far.
And who is
Who
that?
was that?
Who is that? So we can look at, so we can pin you.
Sean LaFleur.
Okay, Sean.
So
Let's find you. Don't
I don't see
hang
you.
up.
okay,
Hang on, we got 2 pages of people.
gotcha.
I don't see it.
Sean, please bring it Saturday.
Ooh, that's fun.
Hey,
Oh, wow. Nice.
Sean, that's pretty.
That's pretty.
Very pretty.
So if you'll see row 4, those little tiny centers, that's where I put my metallic. I had the MC, it's a light pink metallic. So I put that in there just to give it a little sparkle. And then I use the ribbon, I mean, not the velvet floss on the straight tent stitches on the next one over. So
Pull it back towards you a tiny bit so we can see. It's just too.
yeah, the lighting
Oh,
is
you
kind
use
of
very
funky.
velvet. Oh.
Yeah. So it's a light purple,
Uh-huh.
really almost a, very light purple color.
It
So
does show up good though.
Oh,
Hi, this is Olivia. I'm called Mom's iPhone on here, and I'm doing all of mine in watercolors and a little bit of overture, just from my stash.
oh, nice.
Right.
And I'm sort of doing
Lovely.
logs all over the place.
Wow.
Looks good.
So I'm
Did
having
you mark the
fun.
bottom of your row so you could, so did you mark the bottoms? Yeah, you did.
I
Okay.
marked everything.
Okay.
There's no doubt.
That's beautiful, Olivia.
Thank you. Having fun with colors.
Good.
Leanne, I see you.
Yeah.
she is.
Yeah, I miss seeing you.
Okay.
Who's next?
It
Lisa, can you tell us about yours?
I just I wanted more kind of, I guess, Southwest colors, or I like red, orange, and turquoise, and so I pulled. It's all watercolors, but I pulled my own colors.
Love it.
Thanks.
Those are my colors too.
Yeah, I like that too.
Would you be willing to share your color numbers in an email?
Yes, I have them all marked down.
Awesome.
Changed it too. I can.
Sherry, did you hold yours up? I was on the other page and didn't see yours. I know you were trying to get rid of pink.
Okay, it looks like Carol, did you do something different as for colors with yours?
Yes, I did.
Ooh.
Wow.
I am using a 22 count linen, and I am using Silken Colors overdyed silk threads. And I'm starting in the middle with purples, and then I moved out to the side with pinks and reds. Then I moved out to the side again with greens.
Wow.
So
Full.
looks good.
That is pretty.
Yeah.
Now, I know that at some point somebody told me they were going to add Krennic to theirs. Has anybody on here adding Krennic to theirs?
On mine. I'm
Yeah.
gonna put Krennic when I get, those spots that, she has just do one. I think Krennic would look good because I think it would add some sparkle.
Yep.
I'm also putting beads in those one spots.
Oh, that's a
Yeah.
great idea.
And I've got some ribbon floss I'm gonna throw in here somewhere. I just haven't figured out where yet.
Okay. Well, I love all the creativity. Well, if there's not anything else, I guess we'll sign off. And I hope you got the little video clip that I put on YouTube. That's a private video that's not out there for the general public because I didn't know whether everybody would want their faces out there in the general public. So you can only access it if you have the link that I sent you. And I'm also dropping these videos into, if you want the whole video, I'm dropping it into my Google Drive. Thank you, Sean Miller, for helping me do that. And then I'm sharing the link to my Google Drive, but I will not be able to keep those there forever because my Google Drive will get full. And that's why I kind of tried to. I had a grandson help me with YouTube. Thank goodness for grandchildren. Anyway, he helped me with the getting it onto YouTube. And I've had a few people express some interest in wanting to start a Facebook group where we can kind of put questions as we think of them, and as you're in the middle of a block and you need help with somebody, that you could reach out immediately and get some help, maybe through Facebook. So I'm investigating that. I have not got that accomplished yet, but maybe this next month I'll get us a Facebook group going. Like I said,
I have a question.
yeah.
Would you know when the meeting is next month? When you're going to do this? What day it'll be? Will
It
it be
will
the
be
first
the
Tuesday?
first Tuesday. Let me grab my phone here a minute and I can tell you.
Just like the 7th or something?
I'm hoping it's not because I'm going to be on a cruise.
You need to change it then because the first Tuesday is the 7th.
The first Tuesday is the 7th, and I will be in the middle of the Caribbean.
We'll
So,
just go with you.
And I'll be in
yeah,
Dallas at a class.
What was that, Sherry?
I'll be in Dallas at a class, the same one Joanne's going to go to.
I am going to tentatively put it on the 14th. That's the second Tuesday.
That works.
Okay. Okay. And one other comment, if you go to needledelights.com,
yes,
her website, and you look for this, there's a picture of Cupid's logs, and from there you can blow it up and really look at her picture, look at her stitching. So if you go to her website and look for this piece, her stitch piece, she's got a picture of her stitch piece on there, and you can blow it up a lot more on your phone or on your computer and really see the stitches better than this picture is if you want to see detail.
Thanks, Karen.
Yeah, great idea.
Put it at it. Put it at it.
Okay, folks, I'm signing off unless somebody else has anything else.
Have a great trip.
Happy stitching, everybody.
Take care, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye.